All right, so get this. Today we are diving deep into Apple's ambitious push into the smart home market.
Yes, and I know our listeners are just as eager as we are to unpack all of this.
That's right. We're not just talking about a new gadget here or there. This is different. Apple is aiming to create a full-blown connected home ecosystem.
Definitely, and it seems to be all about unifying the user experience across all devices. So imagine your lights, thermostat, security system, everything all working together seamlessly.
Exactly. And for people who already use iPhones, Apple Watches, this just makes sense. It's the next logical step.
For sure, for years, it seems like Apple users have been asking for this type of integration, a true Apple ecosystem in their homes, and it looks like it's finally happening.
It really does. And a big part of this, from what I'm seeing, is this new Home OS, which is kind of like the mastermind behind it all.
Yeah, it's like the brains of the operation. Think about how iOS or Android works on your phone. It's basically that, but for your home.
So it's like the central nervous system making sure all the different devices and appliances can talk to each other.
Absolutely. Like imagine this, you get home, and because your Apple Watch told the Home OS you were close, the lights come on, the thermostat adjusts to your preferred temperature, and maybe even some music starts playing all without you even picking up your phone.
Wow. Now that is smart.
Right. And what's really interesting is that Home OS is actually built on the same base as the Apple TV software.
Does that mean our Apple TVs are about to become way more important?
It certainly suggests that Apple TV could be the central control hub for the entire smart home setup, not just for streaming anymore.
That's a great point, especially with this new, more affordable smart display that Apple is supposedly developing. Sounds like they're thinking of everything.
Yeah, and by the way, that's huge. They're making it more accessible to a much wider range of consumers.
Exactly. So we're talking about all the good stuff, video calls, controlling appliances, managing security features, all for a much lower price point than many existing smart home devices.
Exactly. I think this shows that Apple understands that price is a major factor for many people when considering these types of products.
Okay, but now let's talk about the really futuristic stuff. A tabletop robot with an actuating arm. That sounds straight out of a science fiction movie.
I know, right? It definitely feels like a peek into the future, even if it's still in the early stages of development.
Totally. But just imagine having a robot that can, follow you around the house, respond to your voice commands, even help you with tasks, potentially.
And don't forget about video calls, which is another potential feature being tossed around. The possibilities are really exciting to think about.
It really makes you wonder, how will smart homes change how we live in the future?
Well, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? It seems like Apple is placing a huge bet on simplicity, a seamless user experience, and of course, that signature Apple design.
Yeah, even though they're not the first to the smart home game, that focus on user-friendliness just might be their ticket to dominating the market.
It very well could be. What do you think? Is this the push the industry needs for everyone to finally jump on the smart home bandwagon?
Only time will tell, but one thing is for sure, things are about to get a whole lot more interesting.